Welcome to Burning Issue. Today we will discuss about one important topic, recent topic, and that is NPA crisis in public sector bank. Let's see what is the matter actually all about. So before that, those who have not subscribed our channel, consider subscribing and press the bell icon. So today we'll discuss about the NPA crisis of public sector bank, what it is actually. So look at the title, the NPA crisis of public sector banks. All of you know it very well that public sector banks, which are basically for the public in an easy way. So like State Bank of India, United Bank, these are some few examples of public sector banks in an easy way if we try to understand it. Okay, what is NPA and what is the crisis of NPA crisis in these public sector banks? Now today we will discuss about it in a very easy way so that all of you can understand it very easily. Just have a look on this paragraph, whatever I am reading, just look at this paragraph. So public sector banks have been going through a serious NPA crisis for a long time. For a long time the public sector banks are going through a serious NPA crisis. What is that NPA crisis? Later on we will discuss about it. Though the PSB means public sector bank, though the public sector bank hold 63% of the country's banking deposit, though the country's total banking system, out of that total country's banking system, 63% hold the PSB. It was never felt that the money lying in these banks could be lost. It was never imagined that the money in these banks can be lost. Okay, let's see what's the matter actually. The reason for this is the belief of the people that their money is completely safe in these banks as they are owned by the government. As these banks, public sector banks, are owned by the government, that's why people think that their money is completely safe in these banks. But what happened actually recently? Look at this paragraph. Recently, one of the most important private sector banks, that is Yes Bank in India, which is the seventh largest bank in the country in India, is undergoing worst crisis. The speculations have been there for a long time about the health of this bank. It is gradually breaking down. However, in the last few days, this crisis has deepened considerably. What has happened actually? All of you are thinking, what is this actually NPA? Later on, we will discuss about it in an easy way. All of you will be able to understand it in a very easy way. So, just have a look on this. To overcome the present crisis of the Yes Bank, previously Yes Bank, which is the India's seventh largest bank, it was in a crisis of this NPA crisis. So, to overcome the present crisis of Yes Bank, RBI has put a cap of rupees 50,000 on the withdrawals by its depositor. RBI has come forward to help the Yes Bank. As RBI can see that this bank, that means Yes Bank, is undergoing through a serious crisis. That's why RBI has decided to help this public sector bank, that is Yes Bank. And RBI has told Yes Bank that you should maintain some rules and regulation. And what is that? That is that there will be 50% rupees limitations on the withdrawals by the depositor. Okay. And later on, when the what is that, Yes Bank asked RBI that what will happen if anyone wants to withdraw more than 50,000. So then RBI said that yes, it is possible up to 5 lakh, but it is in case of only in any emergency like illness, marriage, etc. Okay, this is not the first time that the Reserve Bank has attempted to save a private bank. In every situation, in every time, whenever a private sector bank or public sector bank, whatever it is, goes through a several crises or severe crisis, at that time RBI comes forward to save that bank. Okay, and in the same case happened to Yes Bank. When Yes Bank was undergoing through a severe crisis, at that time also RBI came forward to help the Yes Bank, and with some rules and regulations. Okay, now what is that NPA we are talking about? So on NPA, it simply means the non-performing assets. So what is that? Suppose, look at this, when the borrower stops paying interest or principal on a loan, the lender will lose money. Suppose you have given some amount, uh, a certain amount of money to a people, okay, to anyone, and so you are the lender, and the person who has borrowed money from you, he is the borrower. So the borrower is not paying to you that money. not the interest, not the principal, nothing he is not paying. So it is your loss. It means you are losing your asset, that is known as non-performing asset. So when the borrower stops paying interest or principal on a loan, the lender will lose money. Such a loan is known as non-performing asset. And dear friends, you have to keep in mind that this non-performing assets is also known as bad loan. Indian banking industry is seriously affected by this non-performing assets. So what is non-performing asset? If we try to understand it point wise, so look at these points. You may note that for a bank, the loans given by the bank is considered as its assets. Obviously the loan whatever the bank is giving to the customer, so it is their asset na? It is the asset of the bank. So if the principal or the interest or both the components of a loan is not being serviced to the lender, that means whoever is giving the loan, that means the bank, then it would be considered as non-performing asset, or it is known as bad loan. Any asset which stops giving return to its investors for a specified period of time is known as non-performing asset. Generally that time, that specified time is 90 days in banking sector, but it is not any thumb rule that it has to be 90 days. It varies according to the countries or according to the various places, so it varies. Okay, it doesn't mean that it has to be 90 days, it is not any thumb rule. Okay, it depends on the situation of the country or the rules and regulations of the country. Okay, an example of NPA, if you try to understand this NPA through an example, then look at this example. Suppose the State Bank of India gives a loan of rupees 10 crore to a company Kingfisher Airlines. Consider that they were agreed upon this terms and conditions that you have to pay 10% per annum interest. Now suppose that initially everything was good and the market forces were working in support to the airline industry. Therefore at at the very initial level, what happened basically, the Kingfisher Airlines was able to pay the interest, and he was paying, it was paying, the company was paying. But later on what happened, Kingfisher was not able, suppose if Kingfisher is not able later on to pay the loan whatever he has taken from SBI, then what will happen, that is known as NPA. If later on Kingfisher Airline is not able to pay the interest to the bank, then the bank will lose its assets. So that is known as NPA. And what is the definition of NPA according to RBI? Now according to RBI, an asset including a leased asset maybe becomes non-performing when it ceases to generate income for the bank, that is known as NPA. It is according to the RBI. RBI has given such type of definition about NPA. So how many types are there in NPA? So based upon the period to which the loan has remained as NPA, it is classified into three types. So substandard asset and doubtful asset and loss asset. Substandard asset, it means as an asset which remains NPA less than or equal to 12 months. Doubtful asset, an asset which remains in the above category of 12 months, and loss asset which is never paid, that is known as loss asset. So NPA is categorized into three groups. They are known as, there are three groups of NPA categories. They are substandard asset, doubtful asset, and loss asset. And we have already discussed what is NPA. We have understood it through an example, and we have already seen the definition given by RBI about NPA. So I hope all of you have understood this lesson, and if you want to download the PDF of this lecture, so you can download the same. The link is in the description below. So thanks everyone, thanks for watching, have a great day.